All right, thank you very much, Richard. Obviously, issues in St. Louis. How about in Beantown? Sox have placed David Price in the DL with a left elbow inflammation. It's the third time in Price's career that he's been put on the shelf, and two of those stints have occurred this season. Now, he's in the year 2 of a $217 million contract, the richest for a pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball. Sox hold a half-game lead on the Yanks for first place in the East. What's going on here? Because we saw a run-in, reportedly, on the team charter with Dennis Eckersley, a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Price scratched from this start tonight. Are you reading between the lines? What's going on in Boston?
If I am a Red Sox fan, I'm not yet concerned about David Price and his contract and his level of performance, although there are some pieces of evidence that could give you pause. Listen, he's only turning 32 in August. He's still relatively young for a pitcher, 31, 32. I went and looked up his average fastball velocity this year. About the same as it's been for the course of his career, 94 plus miles an hour. That's still fine. Now, he's not going to maintain.
Second time the DL.
That is for the first time in his career, Dave. Let's give this guy credit for someone who in 6 of the past 7 seasons pitched 200 plus innings.
That's true.
The only year he didn't, he had 186 innings pitched. He's always been durable. He's always taken the ball every 5th day. And I think we need to give him some credit for that. Even though this year he's been on the DL twice, that is a concern. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If it continues into 2018 or happens again in 2019, okay, then we can pause. But for the first time in his career, he's on the DL twice. His ground ball rate's down, his walk rate's up. Some of these things that you look at that are bad trends. His last 4 starts, though, he's been very, very good. An ERA under 3. So there's a lot of things that are kind of, if you dive into the numbers, working against. Some are saying he is the same pitcher. Some are saying he's declining. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt because he's been such a good pitcher over the past decade and say, not yet time to panic. Let David Price recover. Let him get right dealing with the media there in Boston and maybe relieve some mental stress.
Oh, this is all mental. This is because guys like Eckersley are chirping and the Boston fans can be tough. Ted Williams wouldn't even talk to his own fan base.
Do both. Get right physically, get right mentally. Get yourself in the best possible place mentally, physically, to pitch in a demanding market.
Look, let's be honest. You've had rough shows.
Sure.
If you had a rough show and somebody was chirping at you, you wouldn't just stop the person on the way back of the flight, would you, Tyler? Would you see? If you're getting heckled by LB from across the studio, it sounds like he's letting the noise bother him.
That's possible. And is that fair from a human being in a market like Boston? Even if he is making $217 million, as much as you and LB may want to heckle me, the scale at which I have to deal with the noise from the outside versus the scale that David Price has to deal with it from people walking down. No one knows me when I walk outside this building.
Oh, I've heard people yell your name.
No one says, hey, Jacobs, you suck.
What were you wearing?
No, they don't do that. That doesn't happen. I can slither through the community in relative anonymity. But David Price, everywhere he goes, is going to be recognized, and people are going to say things in that demanding market that probably make him go, what the hell do I have to do?